Hello, and welcome back to Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Today is the NFL recap, so let's go ahead and take a look at those games from this week. Okay, so this week started on Thursday night. Obviously, every week we have a Thursday night game now. And this past Thursday, it was the Colts in Foxborough to take on the Patriots. That game pretty much went how you would expect it to go. Patriots won relatively easy when all was said and done. In that football game. 38-24 was the final score. Tom Brady threw his 500th career touchdown. Andrew Luck threw for 365 and 3 touchdowns. Eric Ebron had a huge game for Indy, but the Patriots won easily, like you would expect them to, against the Colts. Colts aren't that good, aren't a very good football team, even with Andrew Luck back. But the Patriots won 38-24 on their home field on Thursday night. Sunday, the first game on here, you had the Titans visiting the Bills, and the Titans, they go from winning overtime against the defending Super Bowl champions, which are also struggling, but anyway, they go from playing and winning games before, and then they go to Buffalo and lose to the Bills. The Titans, they always seem to be playing to their competition level. It's very head-scratching for me. Mariota goes from having an amazing game like he did last week against the Eagles to looking like it's his first time playing quarterback. It was bad. It was not a good game for Tennessee. Obviously, they kicked 4 field goals in the game. The Bills, they kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired. But Tennessee falls to 3-2. The Bills improved to 2-3. Pick up their second win of the season. But yes, the Bills won 13-12 over the Titans on Sunday. The next game, you had the Dolphins and the Bengals, and the Dolphins dominated this game until the fourth quarter happened. The Dolphins were up 17-0 at one point. The Bengals finally kicked a field goal in the third, and then they just went off in the fourth quarter, scored 24 unanswered. The Dolphins scored 0 in that fourth quarter, and the Bengals won 27-17. The Bengals are now atop the AFC North. They improved to 4-1. They look like a very good football team. They stand alone now at the top of that AFC North division. The Dolphins lose their second in a row after 3-0 start, but the Bengals get the job done at home over the Dolphins, 27-17. Next game was the Ravens at the Browns. The Ravens, I really thought the Ravens would pull this one out, but they went on the road. The Browns, obviously, they're much improved. But the Browns beat the Ravens in overtime, 12-9. Nothing but field goals in this game. The Ravens, they fell to 3-2. The Browns improved to 2-1. Mayfield, he threw for 342 and a touchdown. He's like I've said 500 times. I thought he had the best chance to help a team win immediately coming out of the draft this season. He obviously had a very good game against that Ravens defense, stout Ravens defense. They were number 1 in total yards given up per game. They might have slipped after these last couple weeks, especially after that game. But anyway, the Browns get the job done at home over the Ravens, 12-9 in overtime. The next one was a huge surprise for me. I know the Packers have struggled, or have seemed like they would struggle at times, but I didn't think they would struggle like they did against the Lions. The Lions were up 24-0 at one point. And that was all they needed. They ended up beating the Packers 31-23. Rodgers still played like Aaron Rodgers, specifically in the second half, because the Packers didn't score any points in the first half. But Rodgers threw for 442 and 3 tutties. The Lions pick up their second win. They're 2-3 now. The Packers are now 2-1. But the Packers, it just keeps looking more and more like it's going to be the Bears division. Obviously, they still have to play the Vikings. But the Vikings and the Bears look way better than the Packers right now and the Lions. Obviously, the Lions, they won the game, but I'm really liking how the Vikings and the Bears are looking compared to those two teams. But Lions get the job done at home, 31-23 over the Packers. The next game, you had the Jags. You had the offense versus the defense, and the offense prevailed big time in this game. The Jaguars visiting the Chiefs. The Chiefs were up 20-0 at one point. Never looked back. They really, really dominated this football game. The final score was 30-14 for the Chiefs. And the Jags, they've lost 2 games now. They picked up the win last week. Bortles, he threw 61 passes Sunday for 430 yards and a touchdown, but he threw 4 picks. So that all comes out of the wash. I mean, the Chiefs, they dominated the game. They won 30-14. The Chiefs improved 5-0, and the Jags fall to 3-2. The AFC South is a mess. um, but the Jags and Titans still stand at the top. The Titans hold the tiebreaker there because of their win over the Jags. But Chiefs still one of the top 2 teams. Well, they're one of the 2 undefeated teams left. I think they inched a little closer to the Rams, but I still think the Rams are much better. But we'll get to the Rams momentarily. But Chiefs 30-14 over the Jags. The next game was a big surprise for me as well, considering how good the Broncos defense has been playing this year. But the Jets were all over the Broncos Sunday. They scored 21 in the second quarter alone. They really just ran away with it after they grabbed the lead. The final score was 34-16 for the Jets. The Broncos have lost 3 in a row now. The Broncos are now 2-3. The Jets are now 2-3. Keenum threw for 377 and 2 touchdowns, but obviously that didn't matter with the Jets going off the way they did. But the Jets beat the Broncos 34-16 on Sunday. The next one, the Falcons. Season might be over for them. This was the first one where they really just got ran out of the building. They played in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, and the Steelers jumped up 13-0, and then it was 13-10 at the half. And then the Steelers scored 14 in the third and fourth quarter and just blew this game wide open. The final was 41-17 Steelers. The Falcons, they had been scoring points, but their defense was giving up just a little bit more. And the Steelers, they were just all over Atlanta. In the end, it was 41-17 for Pittsburgh. That put Pittsburgh at 2-2-1. The Falcons fall to 1-4. The Falcons, they've got a long road ahead, especially with the Saints and Panthers being in their division. I don't know what to say about the Falcons at this point. They look after Sunday they look bad. They're in a very big hole. The Steelers are right back in it in the AFC North. But the Steelers, yeah, like I said, Steelers got the job done over the Falcons 41-17. The Giants gave the Panthers all they could handle. Looked like the Giants were going to pull it out, and then the Panthers got obviously within field goal range. And Graham Gano absolutely destroyed a 63-yard field goal as time expired to give the Panthers the 33-31 win. That put the Panthers at 3-1. The Giants fall to 1-4. Although Beckham had his best game of the year to this point, threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown. But we all know what he had to say after the game. Trouble brewing there in New York. Obviously, they're not playing very well, but then the Panthers, and then they lost the way they did against the Panthers, and then people start saying things that are on the team, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the game. Panthers pull out the win 33-31. The next one, you had the Raiders visiting the LA Chargers. The Chargers won easily, much like I expected, and I think a lot of people did. The final score is 26-10. It was 17-3 Chargers at the half. The final score is 26-10. Phillip Rivers, 339, 2 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon put on a touchdown. And the Chargers won this game very easily on Sunday over the Raiders. Like I've said a bunch of times, the Raiders going to be a long season. They fall to 1-4. Chargers improved to 3-2. 26-10 Chargers over the Raiders. The next one, defending Super Bowl champs are really struggling right now. The Eagles, they've lost 2 in a row now. Yeah, 2 in a row now. To Tennessee and Minnesota on Sunday. Minnesota, they were up, but they had a pretty big lead, and then the Eagles come fighting back, scoring 15 in the fourth quarter. But the Vikings just squeaked it out, 23-21. Wentz, he threw for 311 and 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen just keeps killing it for Minnesota. He had 7 catches, 160 yards, and a touchdown. The Eagles, they're still trying to find themselves. Wentz, his stats haven't looked horrible, but they seem kind of lost right now. The Eagles do, but they fall to 2-3. The Vikings improved to 2-1. The Cardinals finally got their first win. I still think they're probably the worst team in football, but they went to San Francisco and beat the 49ers 28-18 on Sunday. I know Breida got hurt for the 49ers after he had a quick start in that game. But Josh Rosen and the Cardinals, not Eagles, Cardinals, they pick up their first win in San Francisco, 28-18. They're now 1-4. The 49ers are now 1-4. The next one was a great game overall. The Seahawks gave the Rams absolutely everything they could handle, and the Rams still found a way to win the football game. The Rams still found a way to win that football game. 33-31 was the final. We know Todd Gurley's very good. He had three more touchdowns. Jared Goff threw for 321 and a touchdown. The Rams, I mean, they're going to have games like this, but they still found a way to win the football game. That's all that matters. They're 5-0 now. I still think they're just that much better than the Chiefs. They're still the number one team in football for me. The Seahawks fall to 2-3. The Rams improved to 5-0. But yeah, the Rams get the job done, 33-31. Got the job done, I should say. The next one was the Battle of Texas. You had the Cowboys in Houston to take on the Texans. And Deshaun Watson, he had a good game, 375 and a touchdown. He did throw an interception. But I don't know. I don't think either of these teams are that good. The Texans eked another one out. Got lucky to win another one, however you want to put it. The Colts handed them the game last week in overtime, going for it on fourth down on their own side of the field. And then the Cowboys weren't able to capitalize in overtime, and the Texans went down and kicked a field goal to win it in overtime. But like I said, I don't think either of these teams are playoff teams still. Deshaun Watson, he was getting wrecked in that game. I don't see how he was able to continue playing and finish the game. But if he keeps taking a beating like he's taken through the first 5 weeks, he's not going to make it out of this season either. But doesn't matter Sunday. He's stuck in there. And the Texans, they just grinded it out, and they got the job done. They got the 19-16 win in overtime over the Cowboys. And then, of course, last night, you had Drew Brees and the Saints taking on the Washington Redskins. And obviously, everything surrounding the night was about Drew Brees. It was about Drew Brees having the chance to break the all-time passing record, which he obviously did last night. He only had 3 incompletions. He was 26 of 29 for 363 and 3 touchdowns. Mark Ingram made his return. They let him have a huge share of the backfield work last night. This game got out of hand quick. The final score was 43-19, the Saints over the Redskins. But it was just all about Drew Brees breaking that record, and they just absolutely had a field day. Had a field day against the Redskins. Just the energy in the building with everything that was going on. It was a home game for the Saints. Drew Brees has the chance to break the record. It was just way too much for the Redskins in the end of the game, or throughout the course of the game. It was 26-13 at the half, and it just got worse from there. Quickly got worse. But Drew Brees, he's now the all-time leading passer, and he's gonna run away. He's gonna set a record way up there because we're only 5 weeks through this season. He's got 11 more games left for this season, and he's not done playing football either. So that he's just going to continue climbing. That record's going to be way out there, and it's really going to take somebody doing some crazy stuff to get there. But the Saints improved to 4-1. The Redskins fall to 2-2. And that's all for the games that were played. Your 2 bye weeks were the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But that is it for the games. For the recap of the games from Week 5. Saw Drew Brees make history. Saw Tom Brady throw for his 500th touchdown. So some big things happening for some of the two of the biggest names at the quarterback position in the NFL. But that is it for those games. Let me know what your takeaways are from this week's from Week 5's set of games for the NFL. But don't forget, if you did enjoy, leave a big thumbs up, like the video, share the content, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this daily. But like I've said probably 100 times at this point, Mondays college football recap, Tuesday NFL recap, Wednesday kind of up in the air, don't really know, figure out what we want to do or what I want to do, and then I make that video Thursday, NFL picks, Friday, college football picks. But this has been it for Spittin' Sports with Lamar for today. Remember, I am Casey Lamar, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.